Pika's newest feature just dropped. It's called Pika Twists, and you know what? It's pretty darn good. Now, when in the world of image to video, Pika, I'd say, is kind of in the middle of the road. I definitely think it's better than Runway. However, there's other ones like Kling or Sora that are a little more realistic and better. But where Pika really holds its own is in its special features. So, all the time, whenever I open up Pika, I see a new feature that just dropped. I love it, how consistent they are with this. And one of the best things is on the homepage, it's all about what the newest feature is. And I love that it shows examples from its community of ways where the newest feature is working pretty good. So just like all of these AI tools, some of our outputs are, a little bit suspect, and there's some things that we're not quite looking for. But there's also some outputs that just absolutely nail it. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you a couple that I made that I thought were absolutely perfect. Good enough for a commercial, good enough for any of my clients or any of my creative endeavors. So, Pika, you're doing great. So let's hop right in and see exactly what we did here. So with Pika Twist, what's different about this is you're actually starting with a video of at least 5 seconds, and the only effect it's going to do is to the first 5 seconds of any video that you upload. So understand you're dealing with a 5-second window here. You can use either Pika Turbo for a lower cost generation, so it's going to cost less credits, or you can use Pika Pro for a little higher quality of the image generation and also just higher resolution on its output. So, but on the homepage here, it's, Pika Twist is the latest new thing, so it shows a bunch of examples of the original video and then also the prompt that goes in. And what's cool about this, you take a 5-second video, you can add a prompt and swap things out. So like this person, they wanted to make their head transform into a red balloon and float away out of frame, or this person's kind of doing that meme of everything's fine where they're sipping coffee but things are burning. This owl hopping right off the page is pretty cool. So it takes the head of the page in this animal encyclopedia and all of a sudden it's an alive owl. Here you've got the classic moon landing footage where they doctor the astronaut to be running at the screen. This one looks a little funny where the cat's kind of flying in the air and the cat looks a little bit animated. So for it to land on the home screen, that one was eh. This bear getting up and animating itself and actually walking like a real bear was really good. I like this parrot one. So, but I wanted to play with some of the ones that I had made. And also I wanted to see how it does when it comes to other ones that have been made with other AIs before. So like I said, I like to use Kling, I like to use Runway, I like to use Pika, I like to use Sora. I wanted to see how it would do with changing this. So a quick refresher on Pika, when you open it up and get working, you've got all these special things in the bottom here. So you've got like Pika frames, Pika effects, to where there's actually a lot of effects that you can go through and they keep adding new ones. So that's a really fun thing about feature. But say like these first 4 ones, where you take an image and then create a video. Now Pika Swaps was the first one where you actually upload a 5-second video and then you swap out something in the video with a prompt. It's kind of similar to Pika Twist, but not the same because you're actually uploading an additional photo to swap out. Here, it's just taking the prompt. So you click Pika Twist, you put in your video, make sure it's at least 5 seconds. It even says to you right here, we'll use the first 5 seconds, and then you could put in a prompt of any sort of change that you want to make. Now, these changes, they're not limited to just, a figure in there doing a certain action. Sometimes you can change the style, the vibe. You can add all sorts of twists to your videos that you've already made. So where this really works out well is just changing the narrative of the scene and how things happen and not recreating the whole scene and hoping that things are accurate. If you already have a 5-second video that's pretty good, but you want your character to do something different, this is an option for you. There are definitely times where the output was good, and there were times where it didn't look quite right. But at the end here, I want to show you 2 that absolutely nailed it. But first, I want to show you, just kind of go through here. So I'm going to show you the original video from this one, was this one right here. And just so you could see kind of what I created with Kling in this one, where it was like, a character's face with some lightning on it and stuff, and he looks distressed and upset. But that's all the video was. So I asked it to show the character pulling a hood over his head from a dark hoodie. And then this is what we got. Now, it animated the eyes a little more. I didn't ask for that. And then right at the end, he pulls up the hoodie, but as you could see over the right or left ear here, you can still see the background over the hood. So, and the hood doesn't really get on naturally. More, it kind of just appears with the hands. So this one I thought was kind of a miss, but it was okay. So we'll keep moving on. So, all right, we've got my person walking down the street. So to show the original one here, I just had to bring to life. So this is one that I did use Pika before in the past. It did okay. okay. You know, the ground there with the water didn't look fun. It didn't look too good. And I gave it that same prompting of pulling a hood up over its head. And this one, again, it did okay. But the second the character starts to pull the hood on, he had like a cape, and now he looks much more animated all of a sudden. So this one I thought was a little bit of a miss. You could see the second that the Pika Twist kind of takes over that the character changes to this animated type character. It doesn't have the same look or feel. So 60-70% on this one, getting a little better, but didn't nail it quite yet. But like I said, there's one here at the end that was perfect. Absolutely nailed it. So all right, this one's the one of my fire scenes that I've done that I really like. So here's the original, kind of bring it to life. The character's floating, but as he lands, he's got this cool kind of motion with the cape, and you know, it would look like a cool kind of epic scene. And I wanted the character to be running away from the camera. So it took the first few seconds, and they're kind of the same, but now instead of that swinging his blade, he's turning away from the camera and starting to run away. So what I did notice in these Pika Twists is they'll often, the first 2 or 3 seconds will be from the original video, and that's when it'll add the twist for the last 2 to 3 seconds of the video, just like this one. So this one's okay, but it did make the character change, and there's a lot happening in the scene. So we're doing okay, but like I said, there are a few here that absolutely nail it. So this one, I wanted to generate a brand new one just from Pika with vertical, and I just did my classic bring to life, and it did it. It added some motion. Ooh, it even brought some people in the background here at this little marketplace and stuff. So that one's looking good. You got the model sitting here on a bench, and I wanted it to switch to the model grabbing an orange and starting to peel it. So instead of grabbing an orange, it kind of changed what the drink that was in her hand into an orange and starts to kind of peel it. So it's, like I said, it's okay, but not great. But, you know, the motion looks natural, and the hand looks semi-natural. She goes down to 3 fingers for a little bit, but to be fair, the finger could have gone onto the other side of the orange. But still, her motion, her eye, like look at the way she closes her eyes and then looks up at the camera at the end. All of that looks really, really good. But this last one here I want to show you, I think was absolutely perfect. So we've got this character here that I've done from another one, the Kling AI one to start. So one of the things with AI that I've seen a lot is the quality of the input that you give it will often be directly proportional to the quality of the output that you get. So Kling, I thought, absolutely nailed this video of this lady. I just gave it an image, and I just said, you know, to show a genuine smile on her face. So this is the original video with this smile. I mean, I swear, you know, you could say that this was just filmed in a real person. I mean, just the way her skin looks, the way the reflection off of it, the way her teeth look, everything looks 100% natural. Could completely fool me that this wasn't a real video. Let's see what happens when I said to show the person picking up a cell phone call. And now everything outside of the outdated cell phone looks so natural on this. This is so good. They even have like her eyes, you know, looking away from the camera as she's picking up the call, because obviously she's no longer talking to the person that we're directly interacting with. And I mean, this is perfect. This is an example of how to use this with a really good input, change it slightly, and not really, you know, it didn't make her look like a cartoon character. The photorealism of this still looks really good. Shows her starting to have a conversation. I mean, this is super duper good. So the fact that I can just put in a little prompt saying, hey, picking up a cell phone, you know, I bet you I could expand upon this prompt and say picking up an iPhone or an Android phone or a newer one. I just said cell phone, so it looks like an old school one with an antenna on the back. But outside of that, I mean, really, I thought Pika absolutely nailed this. So at the end of the day, Pika, where it's really, really strong is all of these extra effects and different things that it's doing to be able to build scenes or add additions to scenes. And Pika Twist is just an extension of that. It's doing a great job in a whole different way. But if you do have a little 5-second clip on a music video or something that you're working on and you want the character to do something completely different or change up the vibe, but keep the overall feel of the original 5-second video, this is the way to do it. So if, please in the comments, let me know if you love Pika or if you don't, any of the struggles that you've had, or any of the successes that you had. Let us know any of the prompts that are your favorites. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Rosh and I are putting up videos every single day of all the latest updates that are coming out in the world of AI and everything that, we're doing both on a personal and on a business level to help our clients using AI. And also the best way to get the most up-to-date information is to catch us every Monday on our podcast. We're on all the popular streaming podcast platforms. We are the Creative AI Show, and we're also right here on our YouTube channel. So we look forward to hearing from you in the comments. And, until then, we're just two creative guys talking AI.